I am Deanie Richardson, and I was born here in Nashville, Tennessee. I was raised west of Nashville in Kingston Springs, a small town west of about 30 miles west. And I now live there again, like close to there. So I'm here with Sister Sadie, an all-girl bluegrass band, all-female bluegrass band. We have Gina Britt on the banjo and vocals. We have Hazy Siako on the upright bass. We have Mary Meyer on mandolin and vocals, and Jaylee Roberts on guitar and vocals. Well, this band started with a group of 5 women who've known each other our whole lives and played in various configurations together, but never all 5 of us together. So the band started as just friends saying, hey, why don't we all know each other, we've all played intermittently together, let's get together and play a show and see what happens at the Station Inn. It was just a fun, no expectations, just a fun night of friends getting together and playing some tunes. And the original members were Tina Adair and Beth Lawrence and Dell Ann Bradley and Gina and myself. So 5 women, very middle-aged women getting together and just playing some bluegrass. And it went so well. We thought that was super fun. Let's do it again. And we did another night, and then we started getting calls. Y'all want to come play here? And there was never, ever an intention that we were going to go record or tour. It just has all been so organic and so just beautifully played out by itself. So started the band like that, and then through the years, we've been together for 12 years. And through the years, members go do other things, and we bring in new members. And now I jokingly say, because I just turned 50, and Gina just turned 50, the banjo player, and now we have a 21-year-old, a 25-year-old, and a soon-to-be 30-year-old in the band. So I say we're the 2 leathered bookends, keeping these little girls here in line. This is a hard industry to be in. It's getting easier for women to be in this genre. It's been a hard genre for women to kind of break into. It's just a very male-dominated genre. So I think that's getting better and easier. People like Dell Ann Bradley, Lori Lewis, Hazel Dixon. I mean, there's a long list of women who've paved the way for all of us to be here. And now, the old bookends here have these young girls. And the ironic story about that is Jaylee, our guitar player. I played in a band when I was a teenager with Jaylee's dad. Gina played in a band when she was a teenager with Jaylee's mom. And now Jaylee's in a band with us. It's just complete full circle. So that's an amazing thing to get to share that with her and her parents. It's just a beautiful thing. So I just think it's getting easier for women to be at a bluegrass festival and an all-girl band to be at a bluegrass festival. We played recently at a bluegrass festival with Della Mae, who is also an all-girl band. And rarely does a promoter say, hey, let's book 2 all-girl bands. But this was out in Seattle, and we both all-girl bands were there, And it was pretty sweet. We're actually talking about doing some other shows together. So I think that's the biggest change for me to see in this genre. I've been in the business since I was a kid, so I've had a great career. I'm very blessed. I've played with Vince Gill, Patty Loveless, Bob Seger, the Chieftains. So I don't see that me as a woman it has been debilitating for me as a woman to have great gigs, because I've had great gigs. But in this bluegrass genre, it's been a little harder to do that. So I think that's getting a little easier and a little better. I lived in Nashville when I turned 18. I moved to Nashville and lived in the city until just about 6 years ago. I moved back out to the boonies. I have a 15-acre farm in Burns, Tennessee, and I don't see anybody on either side of me until I pull out of my property. And I've enjoyed it. I've loved living out there. And I guess, for me, Nashville just got a little too busy, a little too big, and just I wanted that space and that quiet, birds chirping, creeks flowing, kind of like we have out here. I just wanted that. And did I feel some sort of, I don't know, for me, it's not a negative or positive thing. It's just I wanted to be out in the country. I grew up out there. I grew up swimming in the Harpeth River and canoeing and fishing with my grandparents and my dad and playing square dances, local square dances with the local folks. And that's my roots. And I feel, I'm going to get emotional because I feel very connected to that space and that place of just sawing a fiddle tune and a bunch of people getting up in a square dance. My brother's a dancer, and I grew up playing all those square dances locally. And those people, those, rural folks, that's my roots. That's my those are my people. And do I politically agree with everything that comes from that, tends to come from that? I don't want to label any group of people, but there's certainly proof on my road that there's a lot of diversity politically, just driving down my road with the signage going on in the yards, especially at election time. I get it. I get all sides of that. And I've lived in the city, I've lived in the country, I've toured all over the world with lots of folks, and I really see all sides of it. I really do. I feel the threatened feeling that these rural people have about the city folk and the big, expansive movement of the city coming out where we are. I feel that fear and the threat that they have. I don't personally have it, but I feel that why they do. And I also feel that, there's room for growth, and the city has to spread, and there's got to be a way for us to all meet in the middle somewhere. For me, I don't feel any divide with the rural and the urban personally. I do have some family members that feel threatened by the city folk. I feel right down the center. I feel like there's room for all of us, and I just hope and pray that we can all find that common ground sometime. At such a young age, I was traveling all over the world with meeting all these very diverse people. I feel like when we stay in this little bubble that is our comfort zone, there's no room for growth. So for me, I was always, even as a little girl, I was always around people older than me and people who had very diverse beliefs and thoughts. The more we can talk about this, and the more that we can just try to step outside our bubble, either side. Because, I feel there's, the city people, I'm not going to those hillbillies, that's not the right thing either. We have to, for me, you have to be able to see both sides. So we have to be able to step outside our comfort zone. And what that looks like for me is just talking to people, being around all the beliefs. Just in Sister Sadie, there's 5 women who have all sorts of beliefs and all sorts of thoughts and influences. And we have a great time talking about those and really discussing those things and not getting heated up about it, but very passionate about our beliefs and how we feel. But just also, after this, we're going to go tune up and play a tune, and we're going to have some fun.